It is very heartening to see you here today on the occasion of the launching of our book, the 1963 Operation Coldstore in Singapore, commemorating 50 years. This is also an occasion of joy and celebration because after overcoming many hurdles and many difficulties, we have finally succeeded in bringing out this book. This we consider to be a small act of contribution to the fight launched more than 50 years ago on this developed land of ours for justice and human dignity, as well as for freeing all of us from the colonial yoke. Yet, this book of ours may just be one small speck in the great book of history to record the courageous act of numerous patriots who have made incalculable sacrifices. A more complete work of history lies awaiting more efforts to be made by both us here and the general public, as well as academicians. This book is in two parts. The first consists of articles contributed by historians who have adopted a more professional perspective to look at the background of the era leading to the occurrence of the Operation Coldstore, and who were instrumental in pushing for the operation, and what effect, both short and long term, this has impacted on the political ecology of this country. In their analysis, much of the historical material released from official archives in the last few years in the United Kingdom and Australia have been relied upon. You will see how these revelations have differed from the many told by Mr. Lee and the PAP propagandists. The second part consists of 11 chapters, all written or told by former detainees, with the exception of 2 chapters, which consist of an interview of a former trade unionist and elected assemblyman, Mr. Lee Si Tong, and a chapter written about the activities of the trade union in time past. From these, you get to know what the protagonists were engaged with and what prison life was like, and so on and so forth. Many who are present here today would find their shadows in those stories. I'm quite sure about that. One thing unique about the book is a list compiled of all those who were detained from 1950 to 2013. This being an unprecedented effort may be incomplete, and we like to call upon anyone who happens to note any omission or error to come forward and let us know so that we may make corrections or supplements as the case may be. Friends, Operation Coldstore has gone by for 50 years now. How many 50 years can a person have in his life? While we are comforted by the fact that following after the publication of the Fajar generation, the May 13 generation, and several other books of the same nature, we are making a small contribution towards breaking the silence. Yet, much work needs to be done. We hope to see more efforts made to further break the silence and open the windows and doorways for speaking out aloud. Many people have contributed towards the publication of this book, and some of them have given us continuous encouragement Some have devoted their time to help us in solving a lot of problems. And some, of course, have also donated money in order to defray the cost of publication. These people constitute a large number, and I will not be able to mention the names individually, one by one. But in spite of this, I would like to single out two persons who have made incalculable contributions towards the publication of this book. And they are Dr. Hong Lisa and Lu Miaoping. We know that Dr. Hong is an outstanding historian. And as one of the editors of this book, she brought to the project an attitude that is serious, that is meticulous, that is objective, and that is true. As a historian, she is by training to be one that looks for the actual happenings, and she would not let go any false claim, even in some of the articles that we have submitted. Now, among the three of us, she has been working the hardest. In other words, she has been the person who has toiled the most. I often have to apologize to her that I have not been doing much good. Now, the answer she gave was that, well, I'm younger than all the two of you, and therefore I should work harder. Thank you, Lisa. I would say without you, we will not be able to see this book today. The other person is Madam Lu Miaoping. I call her Big Sister. She has to compile, actually from nothing, a list of detainees who have been detained from the year 1950 to the year 1913. You can imagine how heavy this task is. Now, she often has to go around chasing after our friends to get more information. She would often use the telephone to also ask around. And sometimes, if she can't contact anyone using the telephone, she would visit them. Of course, it is a very frequent occasion when she visits the public library to look for old newspapers. And from there, she would be able to find, if she's lucky, she's able to find certain names being published. But even after the names have been acquired, she will still have to check the Chinese name and the English name. And as you know, sometimes this can be very confusing. Now, this work demands not only hard work and a lot of energy, one has also got to be very patient and with good eyesight. I'm very happy to note that 我们的大姐, our big sister, is also very well versed with the computer. Even at her age, she is able to work on the computer without any problem, and you can imagine how important a computer is in the compilation of such a long list, as you can see in the book that many of you have bought. So, let me now represent you on behalf of you to thank the two ladies. Thank them for the effort. Now recently, I met with a scholar, a young scholar, and when this discussion got onto the question of Operation Coldstore, this young scholar, without hesitation, told me this. He said, Mr. Tan, do you know, they put you people in Coldstore. Now you are out. Those who were not put in Coldstore, what happened to them? Now we know that things that are put in Coldstore remain their freshness, especially when they are taken out. So those that did not go into Coldstore have become stale or even rotten. Now the philosophical overtone of this may turn into reality. Who knows? Let's wait and see. Thank you very much.